Okay, so the latest transfer news for Man United is they're linked to PSG midfielder Adrien Rabiot. He's a 24-year-old French midfielder, and we'll cover who he is, what's he like, where's he from, what's his background, what's his stats are. More importantly, is he any good? But as with all these signings that seem to come on the market, there's always something in the background that just makes you a little bit wary of what you're dealing with. So it'd be really important with a player like this for the scouting team to really delve into his background and more of his attitude and the people around him. But anyway, let's have a look who he is. He's 24, PSG central midfielder, can play on the left. Got a lovely left foot, very left-footed player. He's 6 foot plus, so he's a big guy. He's been capped at youth level 53 times and at senior level for France 6 times. He turned pro for PSG age 17, and he's been in the PSG ranks right the way through. Now, he is currently out of contract this summer, and there is a little bit of a story there, so we'll cover that in a second. But his strengths are he's got super control with that left foot. He's comfortable under pressure. If a team press him, he's more than happy with 2 or 3 players around him. He's quite skillful for a big guy. He loves to play little triangles, pass and go. He's not a great goal scorer. Not a lot of goals to him. He's had 222 appearances for PSG, only 24 goals. However, he isn't a central holding midfielder. He is somebody that will drive the ball forward and release it. And obviously, when you've got some of the forwards like Mbappe in the team, you don't really need to be a goal scorer. But one of the things that would be concerning for me, for Man United, would be what sort of midfielders do you want to sign? Do you want midfielders that are going to contribute towards the goal tally, or would you be looking more for a central holding midfielder? Now, I think he could fit into that central holding slot pretty well. Like I say, he's very calm on the ball, very comfortable. He's got a lovely left foot, lovely touch, and he doesn't panic at all. So those are his strengths. Now, there's rumours that Real Madrid Barcelona are looking at him. I think it would be very interesting to see if Arsenal show any interest in him. And the reason being is Unai Emery, the current manager for Arsenal, was manager at PSG for a couple of years and had Adrien Rabiot in his side as a regular at that time. So he'll know him very well. He'll know his background, he'll know the people advising him, the people behind him, and more importantly, he'll know whether he's the sort of player that is good to work with. So it'd be very interesting to see if Arsenal actually enter the fray. Now, obviously, their heads are focused on the final next week. So, something may not happen for a little while here, but that will, to me, will be the key. If Unai Emery is really showing some interest and Arsenal are looking to try and get in on the deal, then I think that may well be a green light for Man United, if they like everything else, to say, yes, let's go forward with this. Now, the negatives. Couple of things with all these players that come on a free transfer, there always is a reason, and it's sort of reading between the lines a little bit. But a couple of things that sprung out to me. Now, Didier Deschamps put him in the standby list of the 2018 World Cup, so he didn't make the full squad. He was on the standby list. And Adrien Rabiot actually sent an email and refused and declined the offer. Now, if you're a player, if you're a professional football player with a chance to play for your country and play for the squad, I would think you would do anything you possibly could to get in that squad. And I would personally have kept myself available to be in there. Not that I'd ever get the chance, but to me, I just have to question somebody's attitude and mentality a little bit if they sort of throw their toys out the pram and take the bat home a little bit. But the more worrying thing is the people around him. Interestingly enough, PSG have been trying to sign him onto a new contract, and negotiations have apparently been going on for some time. And I think they came to a head round about December, January time. And Adrien Rabiot refused the PSG contract. And interestingly, it was his mum who is his age or was his agent and advising him. Now, you very rarely hear of somebody's mum, and is it the right person to be advising you? There's almost like a conflict of interest there. But she actually handed over the reins for managing him and agent in February. So obviously she didn't do a good job of negotiating a contract with PSG. There's talks that his wage demands, his salary demands are going to be horrendous. Now, that doesn't worry me too much, because in the age of players signing for 20, 30, 40, 50 million who really haven't proved themselves, I think a player of his standard coming on a free, you can afford to splash out a little bit on the wages. But what you don't want to be stuck with a player that you're paying 150, 200 grand a week for, that really isn't getting into the first team. So it's going to have to be one where the Man United scouting network will have to use their contacts within Europe to really get to the bottom of, the player's attitude, his mentality, and probably in this instance, more importantly, the players surrounding him. So it'd be an interesting one to see how it pans out. I think the key to this one will be Arsenal. Like I said, it'll be interesting to see if they do come into negotiations seriously. If they do, that's a very promising sign. Obviously, it could run up the price. Real Madrid, like I say, are also interested. Barcelona are also linked to him. The clips I've seen of him and the footage I've seen of him, he's obviously a talented player, but he's not going to be one to chip in on the goals. But watch this space. We'll keep you updated should anything progress. Thanks for watching.